welcome to part 2 of Top Road Reality, episode 11. And we're going to talk a little Indy news, about your trip to North Carolina, and where we're going to go on May 31st.
May 31st, right around the corner.
Not very many weeks away.
Getting our questions ready for the interviews.
Oh, yes. Heading back to Crestview, Florida.
That's right. We were right next door, Mossy Head. We ate in Crestview, Florida, so we think we saw the venue, so I think we're good on that.
Won't take as long, we'll go the wrong way.
That's right. We won't go the wrong way this time.
Let's go east. We're going west.
We know where we're going this time. He knew the whole time, apparently. But, so you want to go over the May 31st first?
We can.
All
We'll
right.
go with May 31st.
So we have the card for May 31st, and we already know the opening
Subject
match.
to change.
So always card subject to change, but the opening match has already been. Every one of them's been announced, from what I understand. But they've said this is the opener, and this is the main event. So
Because they're on our Facebook page.
yes. So if you want to go and look at our Facebook page, we've got everything. We shared every one of the pictures for the show. The first one is a Super 6-way.
Right, Super 6-way.
Billy Ray's, who we saw at the Mossy Head show, taking on Shane Gibson, who we also saw in a tag team match.
Yeah.
Show No Sexy was the name of the tag team.
I guess he maybe showed no sexy Shane Gibson.
I don't know. Taking on Chris Ty,
Yep.
who we also saw at the Mossy Head. Taking on Dunham, never heard of him, so that'll be interesting.
Maybe
Somebody
anyone.
new. Versus Christopher Slade, who was unable to make it to the Mossy Head
That's
show.
right, yep.
So that'll be interesting. Also taking on Callie Kidd,
Which we saw.
him.
That sounds like a pretty good 6-man.
I'm telling you, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw out who I think is going to win.
Okay, you go ahead. I was fixing to look at that list. I was looking at this too and thinking that too.
I'm going to go with Billy Ray's.
I don't think so.
Really?
I'm going with Chris.
You going with Chris Ty?
Chris Ty, yes.
Chris Ty.
I think Chris Ty's going to pull it out.
So when we go into the event, we'll be writing down all the results, and we'll come back and figure out who got the wins.
Yeah, okay.
Who got the wins and the losses.
On the indie scene.
On the indie scene there, because we'll figure out, if he got a better record than I did. I don't know. The next match is going to be the Iconic Beast, and I'm trying to say this right, Minotaur.
Yes.
What I'm hoping that is a masked wrestler taking on, don't know what's going on with this gimmick, but it's called Gender Bending Dan Delicious.
And a big guy. Minotaur looks like a big guy.
He does look like a big guy. Dan Delicious is
small.
a little bit smaller.
Minotaur, yeah.
So I'm going to go with the masked Minotaur.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Yes.
Third match.
They'll probably both be.
Third match
both lose that one.
is, and I think we're going to go with the same people on this one.
I believe so.
It's going to be the Arrogant Americans taking on the Asphalt Cowboys, who is Zane Stevens and Justin Overstreet.
We gotta go with the homeboys.
We're going with the homeboys. We're going with the guys that have been there for us and helped us out, promoted us, and we had the first interviews with them. We'll be refilming those when we go to the show.
Yep.
So, but we're going with Asphalt Cowboys on that one.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Scotty Ray's, which apparently is Billy Ray's brother. Could be
a tag team one day.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
taking on Aaron Epic. And I've heard some good things about both of them, but I'm going to go with Scotty Ray's.
I'm going with Epic.
Going with Epic.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5 is going to be a Lucha Libre match.
I think we're both going the same on this one.
With Lince Dorado taking on Lucha Lacora. We both got to see Lucha Lacora in action.
And the fans loved him.
Even without the high ceiling, he did
I
some
see
good
I
stuff.
see him a future champion there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to both go with Lucha Lacora on that
Most
one.
definitely.
And then number 6 is Paul Jourdain taking on Kyle Matthews. I'm going to go with Paul Jourdain.
I'm going with Kyle Matthews.
He looked pretty vicious in the picture. Yes. Number 7 is Cameron Frost taking on Cyrus LeVay, somewhere around there. I'm going to go with Cameron Frost.
Yeah, Cameron.
Looking at the picture, that's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the main event is a big 6-man Continental Wrestling reunion match.
Yes.
It's going to be the original Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs.
Oh, yeah, remember Jerry?
Yep. Teaming with Waylon Barley, who's a younger talent.
He's a new guy, yeah.
And also Dr. Tom Pritchard, the original.
Remember Dr. Tom Pritchard? Continental days.
The original trainer for the WWE developmental system. Yep. So that's going to be
one
interesting.
half of the Body Donnas.
That's it.
And one half of the Heavenly Bodies.
There you go.
And Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So.
And they're going to be taking on Steve Armstrong, Bullet Bob Armstrong, and a mystery partner. We've been kind of discussing who could be the mystery partner. Could it be someone already on the list of stars? Or could it be someone that everybody there is going to know, and and we may know him when we see him.
Yeah, may know him when the music hits.
Yeah, but right now we don't know who the third person is in that particular team. But that's the whole hook to it. I mean, that's going to be interesting. So, but I'm personally going to go with the Bullet Bob team.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you want to send them home happy.
9 out of 10 times when you have a mystery partner, that team wins. So
yeah, especially either way, Bullet Bob's in a match. So,
yes, that's true.
So, but that is the card for the May 31st show for SWA, the WrestleMania of the Gulf Coast. Once a year this happens.
Crestview, Florida at the National Guard Armory.
Yes. So.
It should be a good show.
Oh, yes. There's a stacked card. I'm very excited.
It is.
So.
Door open at 6:30, bell time at 8.
Yes. So we're about to find a seat because I can't stand that long. We did it last time. Woo!
No, we didn't do standing.
Can't do it.
On a chair, bring a chair.
So bringing chairs or something. So anyway, on to my little trip that I had.
22 hours of fun.
Yes, I was awake for 22 hours. Now the trip was about 11 hours. Including all the stops and everything.
Right.
But I was awake that whole day for 22 hours. So that was an interesting trip.
So you left this past Friday.
Yes, left Friday, got there, headed to Dothan, dropped my car off, with the rest of the crew, went to the hotel in North Carolina, and got the hotel at 7 a.m. Got a nice continental breakfast out of it. So, you can't complain about that.
No.
And then got some good old shut-eye.
For about, what, 2 hours?
Yeah, about 2 or 3 hours, yeah. And then back up again for another 24, and here I am with a 2-hour nap before coming here. But you know what? It was well worth it. I had a blast. Got to hang out with Brian Cage, and got to hang out with our boy, Justin Overstreet, and one of Overstreet's trainees. And
you also got to hang out with Zane Stevens. While you waited on him to get you.
While I waited for them to come pick me up, I got to hang out with Zane Stevens.
So that's a little bonus.
A little bonus there. We hung out. We were just shooting the breeze. They were all very down to earth.
That's good.
And very cool to be around. And, just nice people. But, but when it comes to getting in the ring, though, they're all business.
That's good to know.
They're all business, let me tell you. And, they were there in North Carolina, and Mount Airy, and what I did not know about this is that town is the town that Mayberry is based off of.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Oh, well, if you'd asked me.
Learned a little something.
If you'd have told me, I would have told you that.
Learned a little something while I was there. Every bridge is named after a daggone character in the show.
That's funny.
Andy Griffith has his own parkway. I think Barney Fife has his own parkway. They have an Aunt Bee's restaurant. It was fun. I thought that was very interesting. That's their claim to fame, so that's cool. Whatever. But we got to the event, and it was a stacked card. There were 7 matches, and the first match was Kid Courageous, Jacob Ryan, who's still currently training, trying to get better. Very young, I would say no less. He had to be probably 16, 17 years old.
That is very young.
Very young. Taking on Ty Tyson with his manager, Phil Stamper. Phil Stamper distracted the kid. He's young in the business. He doesn't know.
Green as grass.
And so Ty ended up getting the win on that one. And then they had a TV title match with a young kid, another young one, Court Montgomery taking on Mr. Ratings Steve Niles, who was the champion.
He was a TV champion.
He was a TV champion. He retained due to Ty Tyson's manager coming back out, Phil Stamper, distracting Court, and he ended up giving his business card to the TV champion.
Wow.
So they're planting something for the future there. And then there was a triple threat. Now, I'll say this, triple threat kind of confused me a little bit. Really? Any triple threat I've seen, all 3 are in the ring at the same time.
Same time, yep.
This, they tagged it out. There was 2 in the ring and 1 outside.
So if you got tired of getting beat up, I guess, if you get away, you could tag those guys in.
Very, very confusing to me. I didn't understand it, but it was a no contest due to Stephen Hayes. It was Jake Young, Sergeant Stryker, who they love, the USA champs, of course.
USA all the way.
Versus the Alpha Omega Stephen Hayes, and Stephen Hayes destroyed Stryker with a strap. So I'm thinking,
lead to
a strap match. That's what I'm thinking. But
somewhere else.
After the match, Ty Tyson, Phil Stamper, they come out again and they cut a promo on Stryker and leading to something with him.
Oh.
So, and it looks like Phil Stamper is also getting Hayes in his little group too.
Now, makes you, because you told me they only run. Is this? No, never mind.
So he's confused. It's okay.
About something else totally.
And then they
it's
had
the show we're going to. Yeah.
Then they had a tag team title match. It was the champions, and which is very interesting the way they did this. Silver Fox, James Allen, and Foxy Roxy. That's right, Foxy Roxy.
It's not a man.
It's a woman. So they had a male-female tag team. I didn't really understand the history behind it. I'd have to be at the shows more often.
Yeah.
They're called the Fox and Rocks Connection, and they took on the Star City Rollers. Jimmy Jannetty. I don't think he's related to Marty.
Could be.
He might be. I didn't get to ask him, so I don't know. And his partner Jody Osborne with their manager Jenny Jannetty, and the Jannetty Osborne team of the Star City Rollers won the tag team titles.
Right.
It was
2 men versus a man and a woman.
There you go. That woman could go though. Let me tell you right now.
I wish she looked like ODB.
No, she
China?
was actually much smaller than that. She was smaller than
Victoria, Lita, Molly Holly. Come on.
Maybe a size of a Lita.
Jacqueline.
Maybe a size of a Lita.
Oh, she's like a Lita. Well, still, a guy and a girl taking on 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And then they had a cruiserweight title match. They had the intermission here, and then the cruiserweight title match opened this back up. And it was James Anthony, the champion, taking on Brian Cage, the guy that came with us. And James Anthony retained in what was a very, very good match. Some high-flying spots, and Brian Cage ended up hurting his knee. He ended up trying to do a plancha over the top rope. And landed on that knee.
Oh.
And after that, it was James Anthony targeted that knee for the entire rest of the match, doing figure 4 leg locks, different things of that nature. So James Anthony ends up winning that matchup. Then we had a #1 contendership for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship. Now, this particular company is actually the headquarters for the AIWF.
Yes.
And then they have the Mid-Atlantic Championship as their home territory title that, you know, is right there with the AIWF Championship.
Oh, yes. Most definitely.
So, it was Justin Flash, who, if you haven't seen him wrestle before, look him up on YouTube. Very good. Taking on Kevin Phoenix. And this is the 4th time they have wrestled each other, like the 4th in a row.
Wow.
So they know each other very well. And Phoenix ended up winning because TR Superstar and that Jimmy Jannetty guy come out there and distracted Justin Flash. So it looks like to me what they were saying was Justin Flash was more of a threat.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
And not Kevin Phoenix. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm understanding from the way it looked. And TR Superstar is the Mid-Atlantic Champion, and that led us into our main event, which was TR Superstar, the Mid-Atlantic Champion, taking on Justin Overstreet for the AIWF champion for the championship, and Overstreet retained because of Justin Flash. Flash come out there and got his revenge.
That works.
Justin Overstreet went for the sunset flip. He goes over the top of him from the apron, comes over him, and TR Superstar, he's holding on to that rope. And I mean, it didn't look like he was going to let go, but Justin Flash come up there, shook the ropes, and it shook him loose. He comes down. Pop of the night. I'm talking about the loudest pop in that whole building the whole night. You couldn't hear yourself think when that 1, 2, 3 happened. They loved that TR Superstar got what was coming to him.
Well, he's
so. But you know what?
A good heel,
I do want to say that it was a pleasure being at the event. It was a pleasure hanging out with a couple of the wrestlers and traveling with them throughout the weekend, and for the hospitality from the AIWF.
Yes.
And the only, I've got, I love the action. I mean, there were some good matches in there. And
but nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Absolutely.
Nobody's perfect.
Absolutely not. The only thing.
There's always something that other people like you may not like, or vice versa. So.
And I mean, and that's what, and some of the fans loved some of the stuff that I didn't as much, but I was looking at it from a critiquing standpoint, where they is looking at it from, I just want to enjoy a show.
Right.
So it's a little bit different. I was looking at it from, hey, you could change that, you could do this, and obviously, hey, I don't work there, so I ain't gonna change nothing, but it was an interesting show, and what I would like to see is a lot more of the talent, the younger talent, coming into the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, because that is the home territory. I'd like to see some of those young talent from the groups like CSW and the other organizations that are signed up under AIWF. Let's see some of those guys come up in there and travel through there. That's what I would like to see, is a lot of the younger guys. And I mean, I'm more amped to want to watch the younger guys. But you know what? These older guys, you know what, they could go.
Well, that's a good thing.
They got the job done. You know, I mean, it may not have been my cup of tea on some of the stuff, but you know what? The fans loved it, and that's what matters.
You're right.
They paid the tickets to get in there. They enjoyed themselves.
If they enjoy themselves, that's fine.
Exactly.
I guess they're doing something right.
And overall, I enjoyed myself too. And you know what? Maybe one day I'll be able to go back there again, and hopefully get more sleep.
Yeah.
But overall, I enjoyed myself, and maybe one day he'll be able to come with me. But.
Oh yeah, well, let's see. Well, that's it for part 2, folks. We'll be right back for part 3, where we just shoot the bull on different things that happened this past week, and plus we'll have our wrestler of the week right here on Top Rope Reality.